bunch of new soft plastics plus huge restock from Deps Japan. New colors in the PB Rats. And the official launch here at the hookup of the Jackal Bounty Fish. This is what's new this week at the Hookup Tackle. What is up, my friends? I am Ben Kohler with the Hookup Tackle, aka the Tackle Otaku on Instagram, being filmed by myself because Jeffrey the King is still up in New York with Hippie. They just wrapped up the Bassmaster Open tournament at the St. Lawrence River. Great job, you guys. I've been loving the content you guys have been sending through. So I actually, as soon as I'm done with this, I am flying up myself, going to join those dudes, poke around New York for a couple days, maybe challenge Hippie. We'll see what happens. So looking forward to seeing a lot of you and meeting you and having a good time in New York. So welcome. This is what's new this week at the Hookup Tackle, where we cover new items as well as important restocks so you guys can stay on top of the game. So I'm going to jump right into a product that a lot of you guys have been dying to get, and that is the Jackal Bounty Fish. Now, if you guys are part of our Bento Box subscription, you would have got one of these pre-release. I know a lot of you guys have been chomping at the bit to get these back. Now, the Bounty Fish is a new kind of fluke type concept from Jackal. It is a fluke shaped bait, but it is made out of a super floater plastic, so it's a floating bait. You'll notice that it has kind of this meshy joint system, so it's designed to walk effortlessly and beautifully on the surface and just below as a wake. So a lot of guys are using this as a replacement for a frog. They're using it as a replacement for a topwater, and they're able to skip it or put it back into places that traditional treble hook type baits can't get into. Now, Jackal designed the Bounty Fish, obviously with ribs, so it has plenty of movement. Again, the mesh. It also, you'll notice, has this really long nose, right? And the idea is that if you rig this on an EWG style hook, you can go all the way through, even past the knot, and everything will be enclosed in the head of the bait. The idea is that if the knot's inside, it won't snag on anything. Now, a couple things to know about bounty fish. First off, if you've been waiting, buy them right now, okay? Because they're going to be extremely limited. We're only getting, you know, limited color drops as they come in. We all knew this was going to be a hit. This should have won awards at ICAST, but, you know, politics. We all knew this was going to be a big deal, except for Shimano. So Shimano distributes Jackal. For whatever reason, they only ordered a few hundred pieces for the entire country of the United States. So that's why you guys are finding that availability is so rough on these guys. And that's also why we didn't do any pre-orders, because we didn't want to, you know, oversell and not be able to deliver. So what we have in stock is live right now. When it's out, it's going to be out until the next shipment comes, okay? Now, also another word of caution. Because these are a super floater type plastic, they tear incredibly easy, okay? So I want you guys to know that going in. This plastic is probably the least durable plastic that I have used, okay? So you just have to kind of be mindful of that and understand what you're getting in for. I've found that using the bait how they've designed it tears the easiest. If you Google or YouTube some videos, it seems like the most versatile way to rig this for us without it tearing has been to actually use it as a line through. So you can put a little tube in there and put a little treble hook on the bottom. Also, by cutting off this nose and using a twist lock style hook, it gets a lot more versatility and a little bit more durability as well. So, you know, we're gonna all have to play with it and experiment with it. But it's definitely a bait that, you know, I'm stoked to have out. Jackal absolutely crushed it with this. We're just gonna have to work around a couple of the shortcomings to be able to utilize it to its full potential. But, you know, we've been jacking them on it. I know a lot of you guys have been as well. So there you go. The brand new Bounty Fish from Jackal in stock for now. All right, while we are on Jackal, you know, we're huge fans here of the Jackal Frogs, specifically the Cara and the Gavacho frog. We talk about it all the time when we talk about frog videos. We see a huge restock this week in both the Carafrog and the Gavacho Frog. So I know a lot of you guys have been waiting on the Kara, specifically on some of the key colors like white, black gill, bluegill, right? Those all return. Now, if you guys aren't throwing the Carafrog, you should be adding this into your arsenal. The Carafrog is really, the Carafrog Gavacho is kind of like an amazing 1-2 punch, and this is the Gavacho. So all of these return as well. So you guys have been waiting on Gavacho frogs, those are back as well. So the Gavacho is one of the easiest walking frogs, in my opinion, on the market. It has a cupped lip, right? So it kind of has that popper style lip, so you can certainly use it as a popper, but this frog walks so easily, has a great hookup ratio to it, so it's just built correctly, right? There's the Carafrog, so you can see how much smaller it is. So the Carafrog is just a really small finesse version of the Gavacho. So when they want something a little bit more full-bodied, right, give them the Gavacho. When they want something a little bit smaller and more finessey, give them the Kara. And the reason why the Kara sells so well and is so popular is because even though it's just over 2 inches long, it still weighs ½ an ounce. So you can fish it exactly like you would fish the full-size frog. It walks great, it casts great, it skips great, it hooks them great. Okay, so there you go. So if you guys have been waiting on Carafrog, Gavacho Frog, both are back this week from Jackall. All right, while we are talking about important restocks, we see a huge restock this week from Nishine. Now, Nishine is one of our favorite brands. It's a smaller niche, true lure maker brand. And, a couple weeks ago, we brought you the brand new Abino 110. This is the new standout topwater bait that released at ICAST earlier this year, a bait that we felt really should have won Best of Show, or at least Best Hard Lure for its innovation. We see all the colors return, so you guys, appreciate the support in the business, as does Nishine. You guys bought him up. You tagged, him and us like crazy for your fish catches. And they really, really appreciate that. So thank you guys. But if you missed any of the colors, right? The whites, the ghost shads, the bluegills, any of that stuff, they all return this week. So this is, in case you haven't got on this train, this is how the bait comes, right? So you're gonna get the lure. It comes bladed in the middle, and it also has a smaller blade and a weight. And the idea behind this guy is that you can totally customize the action, the look, the sink rate. So it comes like this, is a dual prop. So you'll notice it's got a prop on the back, it's got a prop on the front, and it has a big blade in the middle. Okay, so as it is, it's a floater, topwater. You can work it like a buzz bait, you can rip it like a prop bait, you can just straight retrieve it, and that blade will kind of clack, kind of similar to like a good pecker, just a little more subtle. Now, what they've done that's really dope is you can change this blade out to the smaller blade for a tighter, less noisy action. You can change it out to that little weight that's in there, and you can turn it in to a very slow sink kind of wake bait. You can put 2 weights on there and turn it into more of a spy bait, right? A lot of you guys have been playing with like a Texas rig type retrieve, where you put a bullet weight on there to sink it down even deeper or work it quicker. They've also made these blades interchangeable, right? So both the front and the rear, the screw can untwist. You can buy the screw separately as well if you're nervous about dropping the screw over. And they're reinforced both on the outside and the inside, so you can open them and close them as many times as you want. You can flip the blades around, you can take them off. So, I mean, almost unlimited potential of the Abino. So we see those return. Great job, Nishine, on the Abino. I know this is the first introduction for a lot of you guys to this brand, and it's a great place to start. So those all return, and those are all back in stock this week. Now, if it is your first introduction, I just want to highlight a couple of the other baits that you might want to take a look at that Nishine does so well. So, that blade idea in the middle of their bait is not new for them. They make jerk baits, crank baits, soft plastics. They make a lot of baits, but their crankbait series also offers a bladed option. So they have a square bill. They also have a DD blade, and basically what that does is that blade just gives the bait, a little different flash. It gives it a little different sound. little different knock as it comes through the water. You know, if you guys are looking for something different, right? And that's always kind of what we're doing. It could be a unique deal for you. So you can see that here's the DD blade. So that blade's down there spinning. It's also a unique shaped blade. So it's creating a sound as it hits, but it's also cupped in a certain way so that it won't snag on this back hook, right? So, you know, they've really thought through the design, you know, great colors, great building. So, you know, a couple other baits to maybe consider. All of that is back this week from Nishine. All right, also while we are on Nishine, back in stock this week are the Finesse football jigs. Now this is one of our best-selling football jigs. This guy has kind of been a hush-hush secret up in Canada amongst a lot of smallie guys, right? And word is starting to get out now. Now we're selling a ton of them. The challenge is, you know, logistically, just because of where they're located, right? It's not an easy brand to restock when stuff sells out. So when stuff comes in, you definitely want to take a look at it. And if you've been waiting, I would scoop it up. If you guys aren't familiar with the Finesse football head, or the Finesse football jig, it's just a really compact football jig with a unique shaped head that's designed to kind of have a rock and a snagless movement to it. It's got a different type of skirt. It's a 3D skirt, so it catches water a little bit differently than traditional skirts. It has a hand-tied wire soft plastic keeper on it. So just a great all-around finesse jig for you guys that throw a lot of finesse jigs. I know you'll love it. So all the colors return in that. And then also we see a return of the Namazu in both colors, both the green pumpkin and the black and blue. And the Namazu, as you guys know, is the baby catfish bait. You can free rig it, you can fish it weightless, you can Texas rig it, you can drop shot it. So many different things you can do with this guy, but it's basically designed to just be a baby catfish. As a lot of you guys maybe know or maybe don't know, catfish are a favorite food for bass, especially the little ones. So they're just really easy to eat. It's a great high protein source that's easy to track down. So if you guys have been waiting on those to return, the Namazus are back. All right, let's take a brief moment and celebrate Sunday. Cheers, my friends. Happy Sunday. Thank you for giving me a few minutes of your time. Really appreciate getting to come and hang out. Griff is in the house now. Cheers, Griff.
Cheers.
You want a Orion?
No.
Ethan, Orion?
Yeah.
Carmen, Orion? All right. Huh? I know I'm not drinking by myself. Somebody's drinking with me. Cheers to you. Shame on all of you.
Shame.
No. Shame. Hang your head. Big shipment of Deps Japan came in this week. There's some new items as well as some restocks on things I know a lot of you guys have been waiting on. So I'm going to fly through it. Okay, I'm going to start in hard bait. So first up, buzz jets, both in the full size and the little guy. Some new colors like RF Bluegill arrive in the buzz jet. Some important restocks like jet black, nude black. Those are back in stock. If you guys aren't throwing the buzz jet, you're definitely missing out. This is a slow moving kind of wake bait, topwater type bait. RF Bluegill is a dope new color. It's kind of a full-bodied gill, but it's fully transparent at the same time. So, you know, when the sun goes through it, you get that nice kind of natural profile, and when the sun hits it, you get that kind of shiny profile. So those are in now. Also, a restock plus a cool new color in the Deps Pulse Cod. So new color, this is Murray Cod. This is not going to be part of their core. I just saw it in Japan. I thought it was super dope. You know, we obviously don't have many Murray Cods swimming around our waters, but it's a super dope pattern. It's kind of like that lightish gold belly, almost like a snakehead type color. I just thought it was beautiful, and I wanted to catch fish on it, so I figured some of you would as well. The Pulse Cod, as you guys know, has that internal kind of spring-loaded weight. Right, so it's going to make that kind of loud knock as you move it, but then it also continues to vibrate inside during the pause, which puts little micro pulses out into the water. So definitely has become one of our favorite top water baits. So I think you guys will dig it. So that is new. And then we also see the huge Circuit Vibe available now. So the Circuit Vibe is one of our more popular blade baits from Deps. So now this is the official introduction of the huge version. So that's going to be the 1 ounce. It's the largest version from Deps in that Circuit Vibe. You know, we're basically right at the cusp now of blade bait season. So this will give you a true, you know, 1 ounce blade bait that's going to be, it's about 3 inches long or so, as you guys can see, right? So you've got a bigger bait, you've got a heavier bait, so just a great addition if you guys are fishing deeper water or need something just slightly bigger. That is available now. All right, while we are on hard baits, we see a return this week in the tiny bull shooter, as well as the tiny bull does. Okay, so both of those return. This is the smallest glide bait from Deps. These guys are 1 ounce and 3/4 ounce respectively. So they're gonna be really easy to throw on pretty much any gear you guys want to use. A great glide, perfect snack profile. You can see, you know, hand size, right? So all the key colors in both of those return from Deps. All right, we also see some new items and tons of restock in soft plastics, literally a palette of soft plastics. Okay, so I'm gonna fly through this with you guys because I know a lot of them are items you guys have been waiting on. So the King Ku worm. Now, this is one that a lot of you guys have been asking us to bring more of. This is the King Ku Air. Now, these come in all kinds of sizes, all the way up to 13 inch, so hopefully we will see a return of the bigger 11 and 13 inch worms coming very soon. This week we see a big restock on the 7/8, which are our #1 seller. So the 7/8 is big enough yet small enough to be effective in all types of water. So all the key colors, including the clear red, which is our #1 selling color, believe it or not, those are back. A new soft plastic offering this week from Deps Japan. We see the introduction of the Deps Tail Slider. Now, this is a interesting new soft plastic concept from Deps. This is basically a skirted paddle tail grub. It's 2.2 inches, so it's really finessey. You guys can put it on a ball head and swim it through. You can fish it as a drop shot. You can free rig it. Lots of things you can do with this guy. It's basically kind of that same body shape as a death adder, but it's got a thicker boot tail, a couple little, you know, tentacles and some skirty kind of stuff up front. So it's just gonna give a different look under the water. It's gonna create a little bit more of a pulse, and you're gonna get that nice kind of bait fish action. So a lot of you guys were asking for some of the more finesse depth stuff to come through, and here you go, the Tail Slider from Deps Japan in stock now. Okay, one of our favorite soft plastic bluegill profile baits from Deps is one we talk about all the time. This is the Deps Bull Flat. We see a huge restock on a bunch of key sizes and colors in this guy. So if you guys have been waiting on 5/8 and, you know, green pumpkin, black blue, etc., those return. We also see some key color returns in the 4/8, as well as the 3/8 and the little 3-inch size. So those are going to be all your like free rig type sizes, right? So a bunch of those return, and then we see a massive restock this week in the smallest size, which is the little 2-inch size. And a lot of you guys have been asking us for this. This is, yeah, you can definitely free rig this. It's going to be really light, very small. Most guys in Japan will drop shot this guy. So if you guys are fishing around tiny little panfish, you know, little bluegill fry, perch fry, that kind of stuff, these can be super deadly. So it's been a while since the 2-inch has been back, but there you go. All the key colors, green pumpkin, bluegill, green pumpkin candy, all back in stock this week. All right, while we're on bull flats, we also see a big restock plus some new colors in the bull slide and the bull slender. So I will show those to you as well. So the bull slide is the back gliding bait designed to pitch it by a bush, a dock, whatever you want to. And instead of it having a flutter down, it is going to glide back and away from you. So, you know, this is a super popular concept. Almost all the main brands have some kind of back glide or back slide bait. So in Deps, there it is, the bull slide. All the colors are back in that guy. And then the Bull Slender returns, plus some new color drops in that, like Green Pumpkin Blue, Green Pumpkin Chartreuse. This is the more finesse, more slender profile version of the Bull Flat, more of a bait fish type pattern, something just a little bit different. So for a free rig, this is a must-have. You can also Texas rig it, do some different stuff with that. But the Bull Slenders return from Deps. New soft plastic offering from Deps this week for us. We've expanded our Death Hatter line. So the Death Hatter is a bait that we've had in here quite a bit. Really works best either Nico rig or like chatterbait trailer. Well, a lot of you guys have been asking us to bring in basically the Deps Senko, which is the Death Hatter stick. Okay, so we brought in all the sizes, all the key colors, right? So if you guys have been looking for more of a true Senko type bait from Deps, this is it. Okay, we'll open one up, show you guys. Basically, what you're getting is you're getting more of a true round type bait. It gets a little more bulbous in the back, and then it has this little, you know, little tickler in the back, if you will. The difference between a Death Hatter stick and say like a regular Senko is because this guy is going to be a little more bulbous in the back, it's going to sink at a little faster sink rate. So you Megabass fans that remember the dot crawler, this is basically the Deps version of a dot crawler. It's going to sink a little bit quicker than a Senko, so if you guys are pitching in current, this is a great option. If you just wanted to get down a little bit faster and not wait for that Senko to really slowly fall, the Death Hatter stick could be a great option. It's available in a 6.5, a 5.5, a 4.5, so basically any size you can think of, it's available, all the key colors, new from Deps. All right, we also see a new introduction in the Death Hatter Shad. So this is the Deps kind of hybrid, if you will, between a Death Hatter and a paddle tail swim bait, right? So basically their Death Hatter and a little K-Tech had a baby and created the Death Hatter Shad. So we'll take one out here for you guys. Again, everybody kind of has a paddle tail type bait, right? So there you go. This is the Deps version. Now what you're gonna get here that you're not gonna get in some of the other ones, you'll notice it's a very slim profile. So it's very skinny side to side, but it's very wide top to bottom, right? So it's going to create a tremendous amount of body rock, right? While that tail is just very tightly moving. You see it's a smaller tail, it has a stabilizer fin in the back, but really this bait is designed to give you a lot of rocking side to side with just that little bit of quiver. So don't look for this bait to replace like a K-Tech Fat Swing Impact. It's gonna have this really big, wide movement. This guy is definitely gonna be more subtle. Think of this still probably as more of like a free rig type bait. A light Texas rig type bait, right? Not something that you're just gonna kind of throw and swim like a traditional paddle tail. Think of this, it's gonna give you that same kind of, you know, horizontal fall. It'd be great on a Nico rig as well, but just give you that little bit of bait fish or shad kind of tail movement versus just your traditional, like, you know, dangle off the back, right? So there you go, just something a little bit different. The Death Hatter Shad, available from Deps. More new soft plastics from Deps Japan. We see the official introduction to the US of the BM Hog. Now, some of my buddies and some of you guys have been asking for us to bring this guy in. The BM Hog, just a unique soft plastic bait. As you can see, it's got that kind of Death Hatter, you know, shaped basically body with a slightly segmented head for movement and two big, huge claws for just more of a, I don't know if violent is the right word, but just a much more aggressive fall, aggressive movement, but maintaining that kind of compact 4-inch size, right? So a lot of times we're looking for like a bigger presence, a bigger profile, but in order to get it, we have to go to a much bigger bait. This keeps the profile the same, right? It keeps you in a compact bait, but gives you really big claws, really big tentacles. So you're gonna get a lot of water push, a lot of movement from this. I think this will become one of your guys' favorites, especially if you guys are night fishing, you're fishing muddier water, dirtier water, something where the fish really need to feel that push. They're gonna feel it on this guy. So the BM Hog, available now. big restock this week in Sakamata Shads. Now, a lot of you guys have become fans of Sakamata Shads. It's basically the Deps fluke, but just super elevated, right? It has stabilizer fins on the heads to maintain a horizontal swim. It's a softer plastic, so as it gets pulled, instead of it just darting, it has a little bit of a subtle swim to it. So all the key colors this week return in the regular non-heavyweight version of the 6-inch. So your pearls, your silver shads, electric shads, all that stuff comes back. We also see a restock this week in the 5-inch, as well as the key colors in the smallest size, which is the 4-inch guy. So if you guys have been waiting on any of the Sakamata Shads, now is the time to get them. We should see the new size, the 7-inch size, coming in over the next week or so. So we're excited to add that as well. Right now it goes from 6 to 8. So probably next week, keep your eyes peeled on our Instagram. As soon as we get them, we will let you guys know. But big restock in Sakamata this week from Deps. Some of our favorite tackle storage solutions return this week. Some of these have been a fairly regular flow. Some of these I know a lot of you guys have been waiting on, so I'm gonna make sure we cover them so that you know what's back. So let's start with boxes. So Deps tackle boxes return in all sizes. So anywhere from the normal 30-10, the double deep ones return as well. So if you guys want the deeper box for storing more stuff, those are back in all sizes. We also see a return of the 318 size, which is the super dope kind of hinged one with the little internal compartments. So if you guys are looking for like the ideal kind of drop shot box, little hooks, little weights, that kind of stuff, this would be a great one for you guys to have. Lots of little small compartments for you guys to use. So all the hard boxes from Deps back this week. All right, and then a couple of bags that I'm stoked to have back. These are bags that Griff and I use almost every day, right? These are the Deps soft carry bags. So first up is the Tarpaulin Body Bag. This is just an amazing sling bag for, shore fishing. So if you guys are looking for a big bag that can do a lot of stuff, this is it. It features a Velcro closure that you're gonna throw around you, right? So for your carry, it's padded, it's super comfortable. Even when it's loaded down, it's really easy to take on and off. This has tons and tons of compartments. It's got outside pockets. It's got a clear pocket, so if you wanted to put like your cell phone or something in there, so you can still, I don't know, look at text or Instagram or YouTube notifications, right? Subscribe and click the bell. Isn't that what I'm supposed to say? Yeah, all right, perfect. Nailed it. But you can see it's got a big compartment inside. I mean, you could literally put all of those yellow boxes that I just showed in here and still have tons of room. So there's internal compartments to separate soft plastics, hard baits, hooks. Same with these smaller pockets in here. There's, smaller meshier pockets. So tons of storage in this guy. It's got a water bottle holder on the side, tons of places where you can clip, accessories. It's even got a small pocket on the side here that I use for my sunglasses. So it's a padded, so I can drop them in there when I don't need them. So a lot of options. The Tarpaulin Body Bag from Deps, back in stock. And then the other one that is a must-have for me, this is the Deps Messenger Bag. Now, when this first came into the store, I thought it was too simple. I just thought it was basically a Merce. And I guess it is kind of just a Merce, right? But the simplicity is what I love about this. If you guys followed me during iCast, I would just walk around the ponds randomly, and this was the bag that I would use, because inside you can put a couple of like lunch boxes or smaller boxes, or if like, okay, I need a pack of these Magdraft Freestyles, I need a couple soft plastics and maybe just a couple hard baits, you can put them in here. There's some, small internal pockets. You can keep weights, hooks, your keys, whatever. And it's got this Velcro closure. It does have an external pocket as well for storing some stuff. It's got just enough accessory clips on it to where you can put, pliers or nips or whatever. And then literally, it's just a Merce, right? It's adjustable. It's super lightweight. You can walk around with it, and all you need is basically right here where you need it. Super, super handy, right? So this is my #1 shore fishing bag. Love this thing. It's always on. This is my bag when I just need to bring too much shit and I don't know what I'm gonna do and I just need to load down, then this is my bag. So there you go. If you have been looking for some shore fishing solutions from Deps, those are back now. All right, a couple months ago, we brought you guys a super dope smallmouth eating a 110 artist design logo from our friend and amazing artist, Matthew Stockton. It sold out right away in some of the key colors like, Hex Flow Camo Carbon that I have here in my hands. They are back in stock. Okay, so small, medium, large, extra large, 2XL, all back. Okay, so it's just a beautiful logo. 110, smallmouth crushing it. Hex Flow Camo is back, also available in white, and then we introduced a new color this week to it, which is sterling. So just a simple, I don't know why you wouldn't be a camo fan, but I know some people aren't camo fans, right? They can't all be cool. So if you want just a non-camo version, the sterling gives you just a solid gray option in that guy. Super dope logo. Matt, thank you for designing it for us. I always love wearing it. The Sims Solar Flex hoodie is without question for ultra hot temperatures. This is the deal. It's UPF 50, it's just super comfortable. So there you go. If you guys have been looking to resupply or maybe you missed the last drop, those are in. All right, we see 3 new color drops this week from our favorite rat company. This is PB Rat. So these are going to be available in 2-piece and 3-piece. Okay, so this one up front, this is called Black Charcoal. So, the way they build their colors, they're always kind of a base and then a swirl, right? And that's to basically prevent any kind of like hook rash or crazy things from happening. So their blacks end up being more of like a really dark gray, but this one looks sick. It's got that black tail on it. Definitely going to be a killer color. So Black Charcoal is in. We also see the addition of Bone, and I'm a sucker for Bone. Ethan's shaking his head. Yes, this is definitely one that's going to get chewed. So simple, right? It's just bone with a nice little kind of creamish bone tail. Again, in a 2-piece and a 3-piece. And then a color we've had before with a different tail offering. This is actually our #1 selling color. This is the gray white swirl with a white tail. So again, it's giving you that kind of combo of the darker gray, but also with that white kind of, shaddy type look. So some new colors. Love getting these in from PB Rat, new this week. All right, we see some new color offerings this week from Evergreen in their CR10. Now, if you guys know Evergreen Japan, this would be similar to the Combat Crank 320. This is the CR10. So basically they are pulling from the Japan coloring and bringing a bunch of the best colors here to the US. So thank God for that. Excited to get some extended color offerings from Evergreen. So I'll just run through these colors so you guys know we start this week with the CR10. You'll start to see them trickle down through the other sizes as well. So we see Skeleton Wakasagi. We see Cold Shad now into a Combat Crank. We see Hologram Wakasagi, Pre-Spawn Dynamite, Pumpkin Seed, and then we see OK Gold and OK Chartreuse. So Oklahoma Gold, Oklahoma Chartreuse. Okay, so new colors this week from Evergreen in the CR10. All right, let's talk Megabass really quick for a minute. Now, as you guys know, we try to keep as much inventory as we can Megabass in-house so that as much of it is readily available to you guys as possible. Now, Megabass is actually going to be closing down for inventories close to their end of the year, so you're going to start to see Megabass inventory getting less and less and less all around the country. Okay, so we tried to beef up and prep for this. I want to talk to you guys about some restocks that ended up coming in along with a big restock order. So the reason for me to tell you that is if there's anything that's kind of been on your kind of put off list, right? Like, you know, I'm gonna get that at the end of the month. If it's Megabass, you should get it, okay? Because it's gonna create, you know, even though they're only gonna be closed a couple weeks, it's gonna create a cycle that they're gonna be a few weeks behind after that, right? So it's gonna take a while for everything to get caught back up. I just don't want you guys to be stuck going, where the hell is it? And, you know, everything's shut down and sold out, okay? So if there's something you've been waiting on, get it. Couple key restocks. The Grand Siglet. These came back in maybe like 5 or 6 weeks ago. They are back. They sold out right away. The Grand Siglet is the largest kind of bug style bait. It's 42.5 millimeters, a quarter ounce. All the key colors are back in this dude. The clear colors, the darker colors. If you guys aren't familiar with Siglet, I think everybody's familiar with the Siglet at this point. But this is the smallest little crawler bait that they make. It's got these cool little silicone wings that open up so that as it pulls across the water, it's just got that really buggy kind of look, that really buggy action to it. So got the internal rattle. It's basically just going to create a bug motion on top. So available now, the Grand Siglet. We also see a restock of some of the key colors in the Giant Dog X, including this dude, NCIU. Now, this is one of our best-selling colors from Japan. NCIU is a fully clear, fully transparent IU color. It's got a little bit of a pearl belly, a little bit of a watermelon back, but inside it has a silver reflective plate. So you get the advantage of having the fully transparent bait so that it looks very natural, but as it turns and the sun hits it, it gets that kind of flash of chrome as well. It just gives it that kind of flashing effect. So NCIU is back. And then we also see an unexpected restock in the Ito Vision 110+1 Junior. So all the colors return. So if you guys have been waiting on any of these, you know, GP Stain Reaction, MG Wakasagi, which is my favorite color in the line, Spawn Cherry, right? Any of these types of colors, right? They are back. Northern Secret, Matte Shad, right? They all return. So the +1 Junior from Megabass is back. As you guys know, reels have been a shit show. Basically since COVID started happening. The last year has been a disaster for Shimano, for Daiwa, just trying to keep stuff in stock. So even though these aren't new, I'm gonna let you guys know about restocks as they come in, just so you know, like, holy crap, it's actually back. So if you're a Shimano fan, Bantams have returned. So all sizes, both right hand and left hand. I said all sizes, but I meant all gear ratios are back. So if you guys have been waiting on Bantams, those return. Also this week, we see a return of the Kage MQ spinning reel from Daiwa in the 2500 size. So a couple weeks back, we got the 3000s, the 4000s, the 2000s. Now Daiwa has brought the 2500 back. Now, the 2500, well, basically all the sizes in the Kage MQ. This is not something you'll be able to purchase online. This is a in-store only item. So if you guys don't live here locally, then give us a call or shoot us a DM or send us an email and we can take care of you that way. But we have to have some kind of interaction with you in order to get this. Kage is our #1 selling spinning reel. This guy's super dope. For 300 bucks, you get all the features that are in the Certate, the Exist. It's just super dope. So definitely take a look at that. The Kage MQ 2500 is back. All right, let's talk about some important rod restocks really quick. Jackal Shimano Poison Adrenas. This is one of our best-selling rods. This is the collab between Jackal and Shimano. We see a couple of key models return. This in my hand is the 611 Medium Plus. This is known as just their versatile rod. This is a great all-around, you know, jerkbait rod, topwater rod. You can use it as light Texas rig, that kind of stuff. Those return this week. If you guys aren't familiar with this model, the Medium Plus is nice because it's got just enough tip to be able to walk a bait effortlessly, and then plenty of backbone in the back without wearing you out. So those are back. We also see a return this week of the 7.3 Medium Heavy. So this is the kind of all-around versatile bottom contact rod. So jig and worm, just all-around rod from Jackal. 7.3 Medium Heavy returns. We're also starting to see a trickle in back of X Pride. So I know a lot of you guys love X Pride this week. We see the 7.2 medium heavy spin return, as well as a couple other models, and then I see a bunch on the manifest starting to ship out. So we should see a pretty steady flow of X Prides over the next couple weeks coming back in from Shimano, so hallelujah to that. All right, and then a few key Megabass Japan restocks this week that I just wanted to let you guys know about. In the Japan Destroyer, one of the cooler spinning rods in the line, the F264XS, known as the Overdrive, returns. This is a 6.4 F2. It's a 1/32 to quarter ounce. You can see it's really kind of designed for throwing some of those smaller reaction baits. You're going to have that real kind of glassy type tip, but you notice that it gets pretty fast back towards the butt of the rod. So you're going to get that great castability, but you're still going to get all the stability for fighting a big fish. So just a really cool spinning rod from Megabass Japan. That is back. Staying in the Destroyer, we also see the F361X Speed Tip Custom return. Now, kind of staying in that same kind of concept, smaller crankbaits, smaller hard baits. This is a very unique one. It has a special kind of shaped cork and grip, so that as your finger sits back there, it's nice and comfortable. Because it's only 6.1, they wanted to change how you hold your hand to your reel, and it maintains that great presence. You can see it's got that nice parabolic action. So this is going to be just a small little fun finesse rod for throwing some of the tinier stuff, the little Griffin, little OSP, like the tiny blitzes and stuff. This would be money on there. So there you go. Speed Tip Custom returns. Also staying in the smaller rods in the Destroyer Evolution, the Cliffhanger Evolution returns. This is an F2.5 6.8 Ti, 1/8 to 1/2 ounce. Now this is kind of a bait finesse / light finesse type rod. It's a little bit faster, right? So it's going to be more for your soft plastic, lighter finesse soft plastics. You know, light BFS plastics, small little jigs, light Texas rig. Just a beautiful rod and perfectly balanced for all that stuff. Again, 1/8 to 1/2 ounce, 6 to 12 pound line, 6'8", beautiful rod. And finally, from Megabass Japan in the Destroyer Carbon Head, we see a return of the GX. Now this is the F667. I'm gonna spec it out for you. 3/8 to 1.5 ounce. That's right. So it's a 6 foot 7 inch, up to 1.5 ounce rod. Basically designed to be a shorter, more compact kind of pitch-in rod. It's an F6, which is kind of like a heavy, right? It's got a pretty fast tip. It's got just enough tip to where your presentations are going to be nice and smooth. So if you need a shorter frog rod, a shorter kind of pitch-in rod, a skipping rod, anything like that, this one is going to be super dope in your line. So the GX in the Carbon Head returns. All right, my friends, that's a wrap. Thank you for joining me on your Sunday morning. Cheers to you guys. Thank you guys for the business and the support. It's always fun to get to come and hang. I am going to hop out of here, jump on a plane, and go rendezvous with Geoff and Hippie. Next week, we should all be back together for our next Sunday episode. So, guys, enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Cheers to you. If you guys have any questions, drop them down below, and I will get to them. If I'm a little bit behind in getting them, just because I am on my way out, but I will make sure I answer anything you guys have. I'll also leave links to the products if you want to check them out any closer. And until next time, cheers, my friends. Have a great weekend. Peace out.